We get a kind of a perfect example today of how specific Jesus is. We forget that sometimes, just in living our Christian lives or reading the scriptures. We got to remember that everything he does and everything he says is thought out, planned, and intentional. There's nothing that's random. We look at it from, like our modern perspective, and it looks random. If you're just like breezing through the Gospels, it can look like he's just kind of going from place to place, doing this or that, doing miraculous things. It's the opposite of that. He's receiving the specifics of his mission piece by piece from the Father, and then doing exactly what he hears. This is how they wanted it to be. So it'd be like if a government sent you to broker peace with another government, but you didn't know exactly how you were going to do that until you got there, until you got to whatever nation that was. It's radical dependence. He's radically dependent on the Father for everything, including how he was going to save the world. So when he goes to specific places, that means something. It's not random. It means he was instructed to go there and to do very specific things when he got there. And today he goes to Zebulun and Naphtali. So we hear those words and we think probably nothing. But if you were an ancient Jew and you heard that, you would think a whole bunch of things. Zebulun and Naphtali were ancient tribal territories in the way northern part of Israel. They were just way, way up there. And they're the same geographic region as Galilee. So when you hear Galilee, that is Zebulun and Naphtali. It's the same area. And they're on the edge. They're border regions. So it's the edge of Israel. So the Israelites living there were the first people, those were the first territories to be conquered by the Assyrian Empire about 800 years before Jesus was born. They were the first parts of the children of God to know what it was like to lose everything. They lost absolutely everything. Their culture, their ability to worship Adonai, and their ancestral home. They just lost all of it. That's why Isaiah calls them a people who sit in darkness. That's the history of Galilee. By the time Jesus was going there, it had very heavy Gentile influence, and it was basically seen as impure. That northern place up there that is less pure than us down here. So the religious officials in Jesus' day really snubbed their nose at that area and everybody that came from it. And from their perspective, if there was one place where God would not send the Messiah, it would be Galilee. That means something. Jesus could have started his ministry anywhere, Jerusalem, Rome, Alexandria, some like really significant city. But he was instructed to start it in an insignificant place with a people who lived in darkness and were considered less than. That's a glimpse into who God is and how he works. Everything we get in the scriptures is a glimpse into the personhood and nature of God. He doesn't start with the best and the brightest. He starts with people who are forgotten, the people who are looked down on by the ones who think they have everything together. He doesn't go to where people are really hopeful. He goes to where hope is basically dead. And he doesn't found his kingdom on power. He founds it on repentance. And he does all that to drive home one thing for us. Listen to this. This is the point. That we cannot earn our salvation. We can't be clever enough to figure it out. That's a major temptation for us, especially in the Western world, right? It's like, oh, just figure it out. And the better you can figure it out, the better you are at X, and the higher you go. That's not how salvation works. We can't earn it. He goes to Zebulun, he goes to Naphtali to show us we could never be smart enough or important enough in the world's eyes or powerful enough to save ourselves. Salvation is a gift. It's just a gratuitous gift. It has far more to do with the giver than the one receiving. So for us, if there's any of that Western world temptation in our hearts to working hard enough or being good enough to make it to heaven, we can let that go. And in fact, we have to let it go. We can tell that part of ourselves, because it really is a part that believes that. We can tell that part of ourselves that the only way to get to heaven is to receive it as a gift.